people, Tracy Reed here today with day 15 of my December daily. And on day 15 of my December daily, my father had a bone marrow transplant that he had been waiting on for a long time. And so I thought that that was a pretty momentous thing that needed to be captured in our December daily. So I am actually going back to my roots and doing a digital page using Kristen Cronenbarrow's Holly Jolly collection from this year and a template that I have modified by Digital Scrapbook Ingredients to be 6x8. And this is not meant to be a tutorial video on how to digital scrapbook. Just a cool little look into the things that you can do with digital scrapbooking. And just, it was fun for me. I felt like playing in Photoshop today, so that's what I did. So I have gone through and added my papers to all of the paper spots in this template. And now I'm going to start adding my embellishments. And at this point I hadn't decided that I wanted to do a fully digital page. So I'm still kind of scrolling through and trying to find embellishments that I can print and cut easily. And then fairly quickly I do decide, after I delete all of these embellishments, that I think I'm going to do just a full digital page and really lean into the magic of digital scrapbooking. So I'm editing this template to be what I need it to be, and I think that that's one of the biggest things when using digital scrapbooking templates is that you can make this template, or any template, fit exactly what you want it to do. It doesn't have to stay exactly the same. You can change things up and reorganize. It's just a great jumping off point, kind of like a sketch or a scrap lift would be. I just like using them to sort of jumpstart my creativity. I decided I wanted the pine to be on the top and the bottom, so I just duplicated that background layer, and I'm going to erase with a soft eraser brush just the top part where it's blue. So now I have the green on the top and the bottom, and I really like how that framed it out a lot better. I think it grounded the page a little bit better than the ombre did. And so I once I did that, that was when I was like, okay, I think I'm just going to do a whole digital page. So I'm starting to drop more dimensional embellishments on here and also rearrange some of these paper layers to make them work for me. I was struggling a little bit with this ho 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 and how it was interacting with the Santa Claus is coming to town. I think that the theme of, you know, Santa and getting a Christmas gift kind of a thing worked perfectly for a spread like this, but there was just so many words already that I didn't know what to do quite yet. So I was rearranging a lot of things. So definitely once I started putting this stuff on here, I knew I wasn't going to be printing and cutting. I can't really print and cut that glowing light very well. So this is, I replaced the candy cane pulls that were on the template with an actual pull from the kit, and I thought that that was cute. I really like the sort of light as a symbolism of hope for this page, so it worked for me. Want to use all of these cute little red hearts, and I really loved this garland as well, but I didn't know where to put it where it wouldn't look weird, so I put it down here at the bottom, and I rearranged some of these layers to make it work a little bit better. I also made sure that the top and the bottom, or the end pieces right here, you can see, didn't just hang out there. So if you look, I'm erasing the end like it's going underneath that piece of paper, and then the other one is underneath the present, so you don't see it anyway. So it looks like it got tucked underneath that piece of paper. Now I did decide to add in some flowers. Kristen is very prolific with her flowers in all of her collections, so a lot of the embellishments are really floral. I thought that that was fine. It doesn't really like match the theme, and yes, it is a picture of my father, but I thought it was a good just sort of a good set of layers to build up the dimension on this page a little bit. I am going to intersperse some more hearts and stars in with these flowers, and I think that that really makes it look more Christmassy than floral. I had this blue, all of these little flowers were blue, and I didn't know what to do with that third one because I had that blue flower there and it's sitting on a blue background paper. So I end up changing out that blue, that big blue flower. I'm going to erase the stems on these pieces of foliage because I want them in the layer order that they're in. So instead of just dropping it below that Santa Claus is coming to town layer, I just erased the stem. There we go. I think that looks a lot better. I still am not feeling the flowers completely, but I do like them once I start adding in some of the hearts and the stars. On the template, there was some holly sticking out underneath this word bit at the top, so I decided to replicate that. This is an adorable alphabet that I'm going to use for my numbers. It says 15, obviously. I need to make them a little bit smaller, put them above that candy cane layer. So I'm going to pull the candy cane layer down a little bit, as well as the paper layer. Then I decided I liked this red and white striped flower, so I'm going to add that in as well. I actually thought that looked a lot better because the white flower was sitting on top of the white background and there wasn't a lot of delineation between the two, so I thought that red and white one helped separate that white flower from the white background. Now I'm adding in some of these hearts and deciding that there's a lot of red going on, so I'm not sure where to put all these hearts, so I just kind of let them sit for a minute, add in some rickrack because I felt like there needed to be a little bit of texture above that green gingham paper, buffalo plaid, I guess. And then, of course, we had to add Santa to the mix because ho ho ho, Santa Claus is coming to town. All right, so I need to erase the string like it's going to go underneath that Santa so that it's not over Santa's face. There we go. Perfect. And then the sparkles. I like the sparkles on the photo. I like them a little bit more subtle, so I dragged them down to the bottom, but I'm also going to put them at the top and pull them up. So they're just kind of sparkling down. I thought that was cute because it says believe in magic at the top, so the little magical sparkles were perfect. I love messy thread underneath my clusters in real life, so I decided to add the string. And I think that those circles really help to ground the page as well. I thought that looked really good. Adding in a few more stars and some flowers, trying to decide where I want the hearts and the stars to be so that there's not too much red going on. This is coming out really cute. I'm glad I decided to go fully digital. I don't digital scrapbook completely enough anymore, and sometimes it's really fun. I'm just gonna print this out as like a photo on photo paper and just let it be. I'm not gonna try and put anything back together. I think it's perfect the way that it is. Except I am fighting with these hearts and these stars. But we'll get there. All right, so the last thing that I wanted to do was add in a journaling spot. So I decided to make a 3x8 like bookmark size card. So I'm just going to add in some papers that I can journal on and some of this word bit, or these word bits. I'm going to create my own title, and it's going to say waiting for a Christmas miracle. I wish that there was a miracle word art, but I don't think that that's a pretty common Christmas phrase. So I used one of the alphabets actually from her other kit, the Evergreen Lane or something like that kit, because I liked it better. But then I needed to add in the waiting for a. So I decided to take one of her word bits and just erase the words. Sorry for damaging your word bits, Kristen, but I needed a different word. So then I added my own word, and it's going to say waiting for a in my typewriter font that I love to use. I am going to do it in red like the other word bit was. And then I actually decided that I wanted to make this word bit a lot smaller. It was too wide for me. So I'm actually going to just select it and drag it sideways so that it gets shorter. And then the little part in the blue where you can kind of see that they were put together, I'm just going to use my healing brush tool, and I'm just going to dab right there over those seams, and it heals it, and it makes it look like it was all one piece to begin with. Move this up, and then I need to create my text box, so I just use my square tool, and then I round the corners, and I need a background, and I decided to go with this beautiful sparkly wood grain, but now I have wood grain on wood grain. So I decided to make the letters red by adding a color overlay. But when I added the color overlay, they were super bright red. So what I did was I duplicated all of the letters, removed their layer style, so the color overlay and the shadow, and then I hit multiply, and that made it darker because the brown was nice and dark, and so it made it a lot darker. Now I just need to center these letters and add in my journaling, and then I can move over to the real world. So I'm just centering everything here, gonna move things up so that I have more journaling room. Maybe. Yes, there we go. Move everything up so I have more journaling room. Make my text box a little bit larger using the direct selection tool. Perfect. Now I can just use my text tool, draw a text box with my typewriter font, and then once it's all set up, I like a 10-point in between my lines and a 5-point line starter break. There we go. Now I can move over to the real world. This is what it looks like all printed. I printed the layout on photo paper, and I printed the bookmark card on Epson Premium presentation paper, so it's matte. Just gonna trim these down, and then I decide that I want to take this 3x8 card and I'm just gonna put it in one of the 3x8 page protectors because I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it yet. So it might stay in the page protector, it might get one of those 3-ring punch hole things on it, but that's gonna be a decision for tomorrow, Tracy. But that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Tracy M. Reed. I'd love to see you over there as well. There is a link in the description box below to the blog post for this page with links and still images. And I will see you next time. All right. Thank you.